everybody. I'm Anita Finley, and we're going to be having a great interview with Brody Larned, who is, I would call him the tech guy. He's the information technology specialist, and it's at Faith Farm. You know, for years, well, hello, everybody. I'm just going to say I'm now interviewing Brody, and good morning, Brody.
Good morning.
Thank you for being here. Faith Farm, of course, has grown. Over the years, it was this nice little place. They had one place in Fort Lauderdale, and then, because they've been doing this for almost 70 years. It's a long time. And it's funny because now technology is so important. They actually have a tech specialist, and they have to have one because everybody's on computers. And the big thing is, oh, my printer's not working, help, my computer's down, what should I do? And so, Brody, do you have do they call you on your cell phone day and night?
Yes, they do. There's always something to repair or improve on campus. So I do tend to get lots of phone calls.
Right. And did you learn this just because you liked technology, or how did you ever learn this? Did you go to school for this?
No, I've learned by experience. I've had computers since I was a child, and a lot of my work experience has been computerized systems and such. So I've learned on the fly. So,
you know, Brody, I now have your phone number, and if I can't reach Dan and he can't do it, you know who I'm going to call.
Okay.
Okay, I appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
So I just wanted to go over something that everyone wants to know. When you're at Faith Farm, was it because you just walked in and you wanted a job, or did you wind up at Faith Farm because you had some sort of an addiction? And how did they do with that? Why don't you share your experience?
Okay, so I did come through the program. I went through the base program, so the 10-month program, and I stayed through the advanced program because addiction had destroyed my life. I was broken and hopeless, and I was out of options, and Faith Farm was an avenue of hope for me. And so I arrived about 3 years ago because of that, because I needed help.
And were you scared at first to come there? I mean, it was a little different program than you said you would. I know that you had been to some other programs and they apparently didn't work. So it's hard to keep going back, and, you know, people are on diets and they do one, then they do another one, then they do another one, and it doesn't work. Finally, sometimes it works. So were you scared when you finally said, okay, I'm going to try this one now?
Not at all. Where I was in my life made the prospect of coming to Faith Farm like a breath of fresh air. It was very literally the one hope I had at that point in my life. So it was a great opportunity from where I stood at that time.
And your family members, did they know that you were having a lot of trouble? I mean, did they admonish you? Did they make you upset? Were they helpful? How does that go? And you have a mother and a father?
Yeah. My family life is a little bit complicated, but my family has been very supportive of me throughout, you know, my entire life, in addiction or not. And I actually arrived at Faith Farm because my mom found the website and followed up on it for me on my behalf.
And I know that the counselor, the first person that meets you, pretty much sizes up the situation, because I've heard stories that it's the mother or the father that says you have to go, and the person doesn't really want to go, and then the counselor's not so happy about that. So the counselor is really important in the life of a student, isn't it?
Absolutely. Our intake counselor is our first contact with Faith Farm more often than not. And thankfully, we have a very supportive intake counselor who has an eye for certain qualities in people. But generally, the people that experience the greatest success through Faith Farm are the people that want to change, are the people that are willing to try something out of their ordinary.
Do you still have friends who are addicted and are doing nothing about it?
I'm sure I do, but I've actually cut ties to most of my past, for the sake of my future.
Sure, I understand that. So you see that, I'm sure you've tried to get them to think about it, because you must be very positive about this now, of course, since you graduated and now you're literally came back and you work for them. They chose you. They don't do that casually, you know.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, every opportunity I have to suggest Faith Farm to people, I do it because I believe in this place so adamantly. I'm very grateful for Faith Farm, so I know the power of the experience, and the I've experienced firsthand the immense change that God can manifest in one's life through Faith Farm.
And I want to just tell everybody, I've done this every time I interview someone from Faith Farm, that this is a free 10-month program. Yes, free. The students get housing, they get 3 meals a day, they get instruction, they get love and companionship, and they don't have to pay this back. It isn't 10 months and then you owe us. All they want to do is help you to be a good citizen and to help others. And I know that there aren't many places that do this.
Sure. Yeah, all they ask of you is to abide by the rules and do the best you can. And it's an incredible opportunity for anybody seeking help.
And they do have 3 campuses, one of which is in Boynton Beach, where Brody is now. But they have Fort Lauderdale. That's a pretty large campus. Then they have another small campus out in Okeechobee. And that's, same pattern. Everything happens pretty much the same. It's just sometimes you have a lot more people that you have to deal with. But out in the, I'm so familiar with the Boynton Beach campus. I live in Boynton Beach, and that's where I've been to a lot of their events. And I told people about this, and I'm just going to share it again, that we lived in a home before we sold it, a 2-story home. And we had a very, very valuable piano. It wasn't because it was worth so much money, because it was my mother's. And because she used to play piano, and that made it very valuable to us, but we couldn't take it with us. My mother had passed away, and I wanted to donate it. Now, if you have a piano on a 2nd floor and you ask movers to move it, most of the time they'll say we can't do it, or you have to get a special organization to do it. But when I called Faith Farm, they said we can do it. And they brought a couple of guys who really weren't piano movers actually, but they knew how to take care of it. They walked down the stairs very slowly. They brought this piano to Faith Farm, and what we did is we did not want them to sell it. We wanted it to be a part of Faith Farm, which is now today in one of the chapels, in the chapel. And there's my mother piano. And we even had a little plaque made, and it says Dorothy Sperling, and it's her piano. So you can see why I'm so in love with Faith Farm. There's one of my mother's like this. Brody, next time you have to go there and see if you can see the piano.
Okay, I believe I know which piano you're referring to.
Okay, I think it's an upright. Yeah, it's a little upright.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a nice piano, and it made me very happy that we could do that. The same thing about you can go and you can drop off lots of things at their warehouse. Well, no, it's actually their thrift shop. You can call them to pick up, like we did, at your home, your apartment, your store, wherever you are. And then you can walk in. Don't go to furniture stores if you need to buy something. They have used furniture that's all been totally upholstered and cleaned and just fixed up. And then they have some new furniture too, Ashley new furniture. But you can go there, you can get washing machines, dryers, refrigerators, bicycles, computers. And I'm sure that Brody, when one comes in, he has to figure, I'll bet you have to repair some of those computers, don't you?
Of course, we refurbish everything that we sell. So I clean and rebuild every system that is sold in our store.
So if anyone wants a computer, and you don't want to pay those high prices. Do you have some for sale there, Brody?
I do.
Ah, well, this was a good thing. So everybody, so let me just tell you, Brody's last name is Larned. It's Larned, and his first name is Brody, and he's the information technology specialist over there at the Boynton Beach thrift shop. But I think that they probably have computers down in the Fort Lauderdale thrift shop too.
They do.
Mm-hmm. Ah, that's something new that we can talk about, because that's, you should go there. Do you have printers also?
Yes.
And so when someone walks in there, there's no charge. You just walk in. You don't have to, there's no admission fee. You walk in and you just nose around. You walk up this aisle, down that aisle. You will not walk out without buying something. I can assure you of that. Especially now at the holiday time, you need little interesting Christmas gifts. Go to Faith Farm, because people donate beautiful little glasses, silverware, dishes, all things that, you could walk away with $2 worth of lovely things. They have artwork. I don't need any more furniture in my home. I'd like to get rid of some of my furniture, but when I go there, it's hard for me not to walk out with one of the beautiful pieces that have just been restored. I don't know where you're buying your stuff, but I'll bet you could, find some things there that your mom would like.
Oh, I have no doubt about that. We have a wide variety of items available. And I'm confident that anyone that steps into the store would find something that they would appreciate or enjoy, without a doubt.
Jewelry, they have watches, they have all sorts of jewelry.
Mm-hmm.
They have books. Oh, they have huge amounts of books. Don't go and buy books. Go there first and see. I've donated a lot of books there because sometimes I just have way too many books that people want me to review and I can't. So I will donate them. So what I'm telling, and their prices are very inexpensive. I don't know what their books are. Maybe it's $1, $2, but you just give them a chance, because people like Brody get to go and get restored, no cost, and they put through, I guess, thousands of people over the years. It's like you're doing something, where else can you go? I mean, you could go to Saks or you can go to Macy's, buy something. And yes, it's helping, I guess, because they have to pay people who are in the, salespeople, they have to pay people in their stock room, but it's not helping like Faith Farm. Faith Farm, you talk about being first class. It is really a place where you feel like if you want to write a check, you can write a check, but you can walk out with things too. Of course, there are people who just donate, and I say this every time I interview someone from Faith Farm, for Faith Farm. It doesn't hurt to write a check. It'll be $1, $10, $100, $1,000, $1 million, whatever it is. And if you can't write the check now, when you write your will, give them a little bit. I mean, if you have a will and you're giving out all these hundreds of thousands of dollars, for you to write in the will $5,000 for Faith Farm, go a long way to take care of those good young men. And they do have women also, mostly men, but they do have women. So I think it's my favorite charity, really, of all charities, my favorite charity. So Brody, if you had an elevator speech to make, you know what an elevator speech is? You don't know?
I think I have an idea.
Speech is how long it takes if you're on the 50th floor, the 30th floor. How long you could describe something, you only have as long as it takes the elevator to get down.
Okay.
So if someone says, "What do you do, Brody?" What do you tell them?
What do I do? Okay. Well, I maintain and repair our infrastructure and our computerized systems alongside a couple of students, and I supervise the intake of the electronics donations, the processing of those, and the resale of said items.
That's pretty good. So if I came there to look at things, now, are you open now with the COVID? Do people come in? They have masks. How is it working out for everybody?
Yeah, we're open to the public, but we do require that all customers and all of our students and staff wear a mask, and maintain the 6 foot social distancing.
I see. Excellent. Well, that's good. And I know that you've really been pretty COVID free there, and that's because you've been doing stuff like this. Because you don't want it to spread, and you're such a self-contained place. So you're very smart. The officers and the management, really, they know what they're doing. So if I needed help though on computers, some of those guys wouldn't know. Would I be able to make an appointment to have you come and find me something, or is that what?
If one of our students or salesmen on the floor is unable to answer a question you have adequately, I'd be more than happy to answer it personally to the best of my ability.
Okay, great. And what kind of computers do you have? iPads? Do you sell phones?
We do not. We sell PCs. So
Sell
desktop
PCs.
computers. Yes.
Yeah, to PC computers.
Mhm.
Now, someone has to have, of course, they have to have a connection at home, but once they do, they can get the computer. Do you happen to have, this is a funny question, do you happen to have any computers that are very simple, not regular computers? They're sold by some companies who make something specifically for seniors. Do you have anything like that you remember?
I do not, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think that's coming now though, because you see the seniors have really gotten into Zoom now. They're gotten into a lot of other things, but a whole computer can be very complicated, very complicated. And we've been talking, there are a couple of companies that it opens up and you click on some things and that's it, and you're on it. And I'm sure you can look that up and see that.
Sure. Yeah, and it sounds like a wonderful platform for people to stay connected.
Yep, it is. It is. Yeah, it's really important. It's but yet, and there is a you want to look this up. There is a website called I was going to say something, Savvy Seniors. That's not it. It's another website for seniors. I have to think about that. But it helps people to learn, and when it opens up on the web, you actually see people being helped by somebody else. So you see a person saying, "Well, I don't even know how to turn this on," and it's really I think it's going to be coming. A lot of things are going to be coming like this, helping seniors to understand how to get into their computers, because the holidays are coming, Christmas is coming, and I think that the kids, their adult children, are going to buy them computers, and they need to learn how to use them.
Sure. And if I could potentially incorporate that into what we do, I think that'd be a great avenue to help the community.
Yeah, it would be. We have to think about that. Maybe you do have some computer classes for seniors. I don't know, that might be too big an undertaking, but one never knows, if it can help the people pay for it. I mean, and it might help and bring more people into Faith Farm, and they'll make contributions.
Sure.
Because that's what it requires to keep Faith Farm open. I could not ever write a check to figure out what it costs every month to feed. I think you have plus or minus 400 students. And I have no idea what that could cost to house them and feed them and take care of them.
Sure. Yeah. We're a massive operation. I think across the 3 farms, we probably have a cumulative capacity of 400 people around that. So any contribution, any donation certainly helps, and it helps support the restoring of people's lives and their relationships with their families, and it gives all of us a hope.
Yep. I just saw to the website, it's Cyber Seniors.
Okay.
So you can go into that CYBER, Cyber Seniors, and look and see how that is. It's very simple. I mean, wherever they're doing this, they have people who don't even see the switch to turn on. And once they do, they say, what's YouTube or what's this or what's that? And so anyway, so let me ask you this. I asked you originally about when you first thought about going to Faith Farm. So now they say, okay, Brody Larned, you're now one of our students. What was your first day there like? What did you do?
Well, it was a little overwhelming because we do have a schedule. There are a lot of moving parts, so to say. But it quickly became a non-factor because we have such a strong brotherhood. The fellowship here is very much a primary aspect of the program. So I fell right into a group of guys, and they showed me the ropes. They showed me where to go, and I adjusted very quickly. But initially, it was a lot, but it was fun. It was a great experience.
Yeah, and you knew that you were going to be helped, and that was the most important thing. And I know you've attended graduations. They're amazing. What happens at those graduations?
So when a student completes the program and they graduate, they share their testimony with the church, and they are powerful services because they're testifying to the work God's doing in their lives and what they intend to do with that.
I was always amazed that this was something that they could just say what they wanted to say. I mean, they really went into the depths of their despair. Even some women talking about being raped, being out on the streets, and the men where they lost their family, they lost everything.
Yeah. They can be very overwhelming because some of the experiences that people have before coming to Faith Farm are they're horrifying. Addiction totally ravages, people from the outside in, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, physically, even. And I believe it builds a really powerful platform to see, God's work firsthand in the lives of the individuals because they've come so far. They've come out of such despair, as you put it.
Right. And Faith Farm, I want to tell everybody how you can get in touch with them. It's faithfarm.org, I'm sure. Isn't that right?
That is correct.
Yeah, so you can get online there, and then you'll see phone numbers to call for pickup when you can do this. They're not open on Sunday, but they're open Monday through Saturday, correct?
Correct.
Right. And so you can actually go visit their store. That's what's nice, especially during the holidays. Very important that I'm sure there's something you could buy for somebody. Might just be a friend, it might be a neighbor, and you're helping everybody with this. And I just can't tell you enough about it's fun. Actually, when you go there, you'll keep your mouth open with, oh my gosh, look at this, look at that. And I'll bet, and I haven't been there because I haven't been going out very much during this COVID. Do you have Christmas decorations for sale?
We may have Christmas lights for sale in our outside sales portion. Yeah, we probably do. Yes.
You didn't bring in Christmas trees or anything?
No, I do not believe we have any Christmas trees for sale.
No, that's probably, and there's a shortage of Christmas trees too, which I think is wonderful. Because people who didn't celebrate with the Christmas tree before they were too busy. Now they're home, so they want to have something that's really pretty. So that's what's happening there. I'm just going to briefly talk about the women's program. They have, I think their capacity is maybe 25. It's not a lot, but remember, if you're a female and you have to go live at a place for 10 months, you have to give up your children. Someone's got to be able to take care of those children. It's much more difficult to do this, but they really are very intended to, they're very, very anxious to have more females because the females really need it. There are a lot of them out there and they need to have help. I'm sure you talked to some of them, Brody.
I have as an employee. Typically, the women's program and the men's program they're separated for very specific reasons, and
Uh-huh.
that is to protect all of them.
Right.
And yeah, I think we have a phenomenal opportunity for women seeking help with staff that are very counseling oriented. They obviously are ministering, and um, their intention is to help. Or they focus on emotional healing, and they focus on really building the women back up to a place of confidence.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think we're running out of time. Dan, I know that you're there. And are we running out of time? I saw something come by, but I want to make sure. Do we have any more time left? Oh, to me, yeah, we do. We still have a little bit more time. Okay. What I wanted to do is to go through, and I know you can't give us a tour of the property, but I want everyone to know the way you get to the one in Boynton Beach, at least, is you would take Boynton Beach Boulevard all the way to 441, and then head north for about less than a mile. And you'll see the sign. It's right there's the Bethesda. There's a Bethesda hospital. It's the West Bethesda, and it's right after that. And you would go in there. There's a little bridge you go over, and there are people you could stop in to talk to. There's a church. I know that they have services on Sunday, maybe other times, and you're welcome to go there for that. And I know I've been talking a lot about the Boynton Beach one, but it's the same in Fort Lauderdale. I don't know how to get to the one in Fort Lauderdale, but all you have to do is get on faithfarm.org and it'll give you directions. And the one in Okeechobee, that's even that's unique. They do have a thrift shop downtown in Okeechobee, but I don't know how it's different. Have you been out to the Okeechobee campus, Brody?
I have not.
Yeah, it might be. I was threatening to go out there one day. I just knew it was farther out, but at one time they had cows and they had agriculture. I don't know if they still do, but it's it's all magical, everything that's happening. And I don't know how you get out to that one compared to, did you have a choice to go to the one in Fort Lauderdale or Boynton Beach?
Well, I applied specifically for the Boynton Beach campus, although you can apply for any of the three locations via the online intake application, or when speaking to an intake counselor, they can guide you to the appropriate person.
I see. So, of course, if people live in one of those areas, they probably would rather be where they are. But yet, the other thing we haven't talked about is, and you're not married, but there are people who are married and they don't get to see their family, I guess, for what, the first month they don't see them, and then on once a month they get on Sunday. I don't know how that works. How does that work?
Yeah, so after 30 days, students they have visitation hours on Sundays for immediate family or spouses. So they can see their families once a week after the first 30 days.
Okay, once a week. And is that all day? How does that mean, it's like just in the afternoon, or how do they do that?
I believe it's after the church service on Sunday. So specifically 12:30 to 4:30, their family is allowed to come to the Boynton Beach campus to see the student.
Right, but they can't leave. When can they actually leave to go somewhere?
Once a month, they have what's called an 8-hour pass that they're allowed to leave on to take care of any personal business or.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so they could actually go home if they wanted for those few hours.
Yes.
Oh, I guess they have to be careful because they are in such a confined place. They want to make sure that the student is responsible, right?
Absolutely. And once they return to the campus, they are screened to ensure that.
Ah.
Yeah.
Of course, that has to happen. Listen, and I didn't ask you this, but were you there for alcohol or for other kind of drugs?
I was here for for other drugs.
You know, years ago, it was really alcohol. Drugs wasn't a problem.
Sure. Unfortunately, they're all absolutely deadly.
Right. And is alcohol still one of the reasons people come, or is it more drugs?
Alcohol is certainly a reason people are here, because alcohol, just like drugs, it creates severe dependency and also destroys lives.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yep, it does. And then some people start with alcohol and then just go on and on. What's the age? You know, we have some kids in high school. What's the age that they could come there to Faith Farm? Can they come when they're 16, or they have to wait till they're 18?
We can't accept anyone younger than 18 years old.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, it's something that we hope that people don't have to find out, but at least there is an answer. And we're very lucky to have this organization in South Florida, because you're going to look long and hard to find it anywhere else. There are a lot of attempts to do this. There are religious organizations trying, but because they've done this for so long and they have it down so clear. In fact, other organizations, I think, contact Faith Farm and ask for help and to give them advice. I know that, so I'm glad. Well, it's been wonderful, Brody, talking with you. I think that people who are listening, whether it's for themselves or it's a family member or somebody, you just may have inspired them. You've been really very nice about doing this with us.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Happy holidays, and jingle, jingle. I don't have any jingle bells to jingle jangle. There's a new movie coming out, Jingle Jangle, I think. But good. Well, thank you again. And I'm sure now that I know who you are, I know I'll call you at some point.
Okay.
Okay, bye. Thank you very much again. Merry Christmas.
If you or someone you know is having an addiction problem, there's a place that can help. It's called Faith Farm Ministries. What's important for those without addiction is that Faith Farm Ministries is supported by their 3 amazing thrift stores and by donations. Most people are not aware of the wonderful work they do for our fellow citizens. The way you can help is to make sure that their work continues. It's easy. Bring unwanted items to their locations during the day or put them in their drop boxes. Then, be sure to go and buy new or used items from their thrift stores. They're located in Fort Lauderdale, Boynton Beach, and in Okeechobee. Faith Farm Ministries makes the entire process a win-win to help and to get help, maybe even for yourself. For information, call 561-737-2259. That's Faith Farm Ministries, 561-737-2259, or go online to www.faithfarm.org.